Hello. In this particular video, we're going to talk about input devices and how they work in the matrix configurator. Once devices are detected in the system, you'll see on the left-hand side that the input devices show up in the input devices column. In this particular case, we have three input devices: the Z3 Siren button controller, and the OBD2 controller. On the top of the input devices column is a menu. This menu will allow you to collapse input devices, expand all of the input devices, or you can also filter and work just on particular devices that you want to at any given time. And one last method of expanding and collapsing input devices is to click on the expand collapse icon on each device as needed. Now let's discuss the functionality of the input devices. On the Z3 Siren, there are 14 wire inputs that visually match the color coding of the physical wires that are coming into the Siren. Also, any gears that you see on any of the input devices are clickable and will allow you to further configure each input device. The functionality of each one of these gears in the input devices will be discussed in further videos. On the Z3 Siren button controller, you will see the buttons and slider switch represented on the physical push button controller. And on the OBD2 controller, you will see the inputs that represent parts of the vehicle that, when are actuated, will send signals to the matrix system to perform the actions. Now let's talk about actually configuring input devices. We're going to use the Z3 Siren button controller for an example. When you click on a particular input, it's going to show you what is configured by default on that particular input button. So for instance, on B1, we have the serial light bar, which is going to run a left alley steady pattern. And on the Z3 Siren power outputs, we're going to run aux B1 with a steady pattern phase 0. Likewise, on the B2 button, on the serial light bar, we're going to run a steady pattern of right alley. And on the Z3 Siren power outputs, an aux B2 is going to run pattern steady phase 0. Now, by selecting both B1 and B2 together, we have the ability to run a completely different set of actions when both buttons are pressed together physically on the control head. In order to do this, simply hold down your control key on your keyboard and click on B1, and now both B1 and B2 are selected. In this particular configuration, we don't have anything on them, but we can simply add a pattern or tone or any other action available in the system. And we're not just limited to 2 buttons. You can select as many buttons as needed in order to configure the system the way you'd like. This is a good time to talk about one other menu item, which is the Deselect All Currently Selected Inputs button. By clicking this, you can clear all the selected inputs throughout all of the input devices. Now let's talk about the slider switch. The slider switch can be activated to level 1, 2, and 3 by right-clicking as your mouse is over the slider switch. And to return to previous levels, simply click the slider switch with your left mouse button. I hope this video has helped you to understand how the input devices work in the matrix configurator. And don't forget, you can always go to Help, How-To Videos, to watch other videos on how the system works. Or look for the video icons located throughout the system, click the video icon, and watch the video that pertains to that section of the software. Thanks for watching.